Hello there. There are some psychotherapeutic techniques that have such strange names that people almost immediately tend to mistrust them and think there must be some new age nonsense and too weird to try. In the case of emotional freedom techniques, or EFT for short, that is a shame, because underneath the somewhat strange title, there is a therapy that can do a great deal of good in helping to cope with stress, if it is used correctly with the guidance of an appropriately qualified and skilled therapist. Over the past few years, I've been using my academic skills to try to help me to understand and to explain to myself and to others some of the claims made about some of the more unusual psychotherapies. So I've been combing through the research literature to try to work out, in terms of both the physiology and the neuroscience, how these therapies can have their therapeutic effect. So essentially, I've been looking for the science beneath the hype. In the case of emotional freedom techniques, I believe that I have found the science, so I would like to present some of my findings to you to explain why I offer EFT as well as the soothing stress strategies that I practice. Acupressure is an important part of EFT. Acupressure involves tapping or pressing on very similar positions of the body used in acupuncture, when acupuncture would normally insert their needles. Acupressure is sometimes known as the psychological version of acupuncture. According to Chinese medicine, acupuncture interacts with what they call the meridian system, which they define to be a network of channels through which qi flows. This qi is regarded as life energy, although traditional Chinese medicine has never really explicitly provided a physiological explanation for it. But nevertheless, qi is considered a powerful and influential force in promoting health and well-being. When I looked more closely into this meridian system, I came across another anatomical system which is slightly similar to it in terms of how it is placed in the body. And this system is called the Premobaster System. What is really interesting about this anatomical system is that it was discovered only relatively recently. We have known about nerves and muscles and organs for centuries, and we thought we understood at least the basic principles of how the human body worked. It is remarkably rare to have new anatomical discoveries of the human body these days, because we've been investigating it for so long and so thoroughly. So for this brand new system to be discovered in the 1960s is actually pretty incredible. There has been growing evidence since then which seems to confirm that this is not some mistake or some misunderstanding of an anatomical system that we already knew about, but something genuinely new and genuinely influential. The first claim of this Premobaster system and its existence was made by a Korean in Seoul called Bong Kim. He reported finding bundles of tubular structures which were clearly distinct from the nerves, blood and lymph vessels. He called it the substance of Cheongak, which is Korean for the meridian system. He said that this system was not unique to just humans, but also found in fish, amphibians, birds and many other mammals. This was highly controversial, and to make things worse, Kim was unfortunately frustratingly vague about how he had discovered this system in terms of the methods and the science protocol. So this discovery was disputed and fairly quickly forgotten. But in 2002, research into the Premobaster system was revived, again in Korea, and by using both standard and more advanced methods, the research group at Seoul National University was able to provide more compelling evidence of this new system actually existing. From the research so far, The Premobaster system appears to provide the scaffolding and communication support for the blood vessels and the lymph vessels, as well as the nerves and muscles. This system seems highly interconnected within the human body, existing both inside and outside organs, in the layers of skin, in the connective tissues and membranes, and in cavities and channels. The flow of the Premo fluid inside the system appears to be multidirectional in its flow and to have interesting conductive properties, as well as carrying key hormones, proteins, and even cells. So it appears that the meridian system on which Chinese medicine is based may very well actually exist in the human body as the Premovascular system. This, in turn, can potentially explain why putting pressure on certain points on these meridians would have an effect on tissues and nerves they are connected with. This research knowledge is quite separate at the moment to the literature about the technique of EFT itself, but at least there is some reassurance that there is a potential physical basis to EFT's effects, rather than being some kind of new age nonsense. This then gives me much more confidence that the benefits of EFT that have been reported do have a scientific basis, and therefore EFT warrants being used as well as the soothing stress strategies that I practice. In my next video, I would explain more about EFT and how it can be used to manage the stress in your lives. So please look out for it on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in experiencing EFT yourself, please contact me via my website at soothingstressstrategies.com. Bye for now.